Hello everyone, I'm back again and I want to talk about two jets that are near and dear to my heart that I'd love to see in the game. To keep it short, I'll be producing these videos in a two-part mini-series. Also, I'm going to be on holiday for a bit, so the videos may be a little less frequent than usual. But please check back later for the second part, which is going to be on the F-20 Tiger Shark. The first jet, of course, is the Sea Harrier FRS1. This jet proved itself and the entire carrier-borne vertical takeoff and landing concept in the Falklands War. What was the Falklands War? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm not British, but it's time for some tea and lessons. So way back in 1982, Argentina invaded the tiny South Atlantic Falkland Islands, also known as the Malvinas in Argentina. I won't get into the politics of the time, but suffice it to say that Argentina had some serious beef with the UK over the status quo and decided to occupy the islands. Again, I know there's still significant emotion around this war, and I'm going to try to stay out of the politics of it. This enraged the UK so much that they sent a 100-ship naval task force formed around two aircraft carriers, the HMS Invincible and the HMS Hermes, along with several escort ships and troop ships with Royal Marines and Army soldiers embarked. The Royal Navy had a total of 20 Sea Harrier FRS-1s initially, and a small contingent of Harrier GR3s, but the Sea Harrier would handle the brunt of the air-to-air combat. Later, an additional 8 Sea Harriers would arrive as reinforcements to up the contingent. The Sea Harrier's principal mission, though, was fleet defense. Facing them were some of the best aircraft in the world at that time, and also proven in combat. The Argentine order of battle consisted of 120 combat planes, Superintendards, Mirage 3 EAs. The Sea Harrier pilots, although outnumbered 6-1 initially, had the advantage of the AM-9L all-aspect infrared missile, and they were also carrier-borne, so range wasn't an issue. Conversely, the Argentine aircraft only had the Matra R530s and the R550 rear aspect-only Magic 1s, and they were quite limited by range because they had to fly from the mainland, which forced them to their absolute limit on endurance. Mirages and Daggers were not aerial refueling capable, even though the Argentinians had 2 aerial refueling aircraft. Despite the disadvantages, the Argentine pilots made the best of their situation. On 8 June 1982, a flight of 4 A4 Skyhawks severely damaged 2 landing ships, the HMS Sir Galahad and the HMS Sir Tristan. Although both ships were hit, the Galahad suffered the largest loss of life when it was struck with 3 Mark 82 500-pound bombs. On that day, a Royal Navy Sea Harrier engaged the 4th ship of Skyhawks involved in an attack and downed 3 of them with AM-9Ls. So the Sea Harrier FRS-1 was equipped with the Ferranti Blue Fox monopulse multimode radar, which was very temperamental. It had poor look-down capability over rough sea states and uneven terrain, according to open sources. And, they really had a hard time tracking anything that was really low to the water and moving really fast with that radar set. However, the aircraft was capable of carrying up to 4 AM-9Gs or the AM-9L Limas like I've been talking about, and they had 2 30mm Aden cannons. And of course, the star of the show, besides the aircraft, was the AM-9L, which contributed greatly to the stellar record that the Sea Harriers had. Later, the aircraft were going to be upgraded. They were given the Sky Guardian radar warning receiver, chaff and flares, and they even got an expendable decoy, which I really won't go into here. Despite the issues with the radar, the Royal Navy was very happy with the performance of the Sea Harrier FRS-1 in the Falklands War. The FRS-1 would continue to serve in the fleet until conversion to the FA2 standard in around 1984, in which it got even more capable equipment and avionics. It got a new radar called the Blue Vixen, and it also got the capability to carry AMRAAMs. Of course, AMRAAMs, not really talking about introducing those into the game right now. Alright, overall, the Sea Harriers were victorious in the Falklands War. In air combat, they scored 23 aerial kills, 21 of them with the AM-9L alone, while losing none of their own in air-to-air combat, although 2 were lost to ground fire and 4 to accidents. Alright, so what happened here? Why were the outcomes so lopsided in favor of the Sea Harriers? And why did they perform so well against a very well-equipped foe? Well, part of the reason, of course, was aircraft range that I talked about earlier. The Harrier was carrier-borne, and the Argentine forces had to fly from the mainland to do their missions. They were really at the edge of their fuel limitations. But that wasn't solely the reason for Argentina's defeat here. In the end, tactics, training, and technology won the day. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you're still here checking out the video, I appreciate it. I would also appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. But in closing, ultimately, I'd like to see both the Sea Harrier FRS1 and the FA2, knowing that, the FA2 with the active radar missiles should come at a time definitely when it's appropriate. Really not right now. I also would love to see the Falklands map in the game. I think that would be really, really nice. We could have a dual naval and air mode map if Gaijin developed it with enough resources. Alright, so thanks for checking it out again. If you're interested in this type of format, I have a part 2 to this where I'm going to talk about the F-20 Tiger Shark, and that's coming in a later video. So thanks again.